Let's go and check. Checking if we're working. Let's see if we're working. Let's go and check. Okay, we're working. Cool. Okay. Oof. Crazy town up in here. I should be playing Stargrave today, but my laptop fell out of the wall. So I have normally the streaming setup. That's usually just where I sit and paint. I like everything being in one spot, so I don't have to move it around. All a pain in the ass. I have a like bendy robot arm thing that usually holds my laptop like up here. I guess because it has been very woodery. I guess I don't know. It decided to fall on the wall. It's just held in with anchors, but it shouldn't have fallen on the wall. So it did. So the setup's a little scuffed today because of that. I've got some stuff coming on Thursday to hopefully get my setup fixed again. I've got a thing that connects to the desk, and we're going to try having like an action cam when we're playing games and stuff to make them more interesting, and all kinds of stuff. But yeah, also I'm all over the place, and it took like the fury of 1,000 suns to get out of bed, but I'm here with Red Bull, thankfully, so that's good. Yeah, so that's a fun way to start the new year. Yeah. Do you want to stare at the ceiling for a couple hours and worry? Yeah, me neither, but that's what I did. Anyway, I figured that since I can't really stream normally at the moment because everything's all fucked up, we could at least do a Stargrave crew together and talk about the books a little bit, as I've been reading over them and they've been very good. So I went ahead and I printed out one of these. This is a crew sheet. These are in the back of the book. They are also available online. Osprey actually has a ton of Stargrave resources online, including power cards, the entire thing to make a crew for free, the entire solo section of Perilous Dark for free. All kinds of stuff is up there for free. Just go to their download section and it's awesome. It's really, really cool. They've got a ton of stuff. So that's where I got this. So on the front of it, we've got stuff like our generic stuff, like the name, whatever our ship's named. Then we have our captain stats, and then we have a first mate stat. And then here's a sheet with 4 crew members on it. If you're going to play a full-size game, print out 2 of these because you're going to need 8 guys. The first game that we're going to be doing next week now is a half-size game, so I only printed out 1 because that's all I need right now. Alright, so let's take a look through the book, and then we will take a look and I'll talk about my crew and stuff. So, a bunch of this, it talks about essentially what you need if you've never done a miniature agnostic war game before. Terrain, blah blah blah. You need some miniatures, stuff like that. And then you're going to make 2 named characters, and then the rest you're going to pick troops. Alright, so for each named character, they're going to get a background, and these can be different. Unlike in Frostgrave, where basically one is clone of the other, doesn't work like that here. So, what I'm going to do is we're going to take a quick look through the backgrounds, and then I'm going to talk about my idea for my crew and how I'm going to pick what I'm going to pick. All right, so some of these are kind of weird, but they're also cool. So we have the biomorph. This one is about like changing its body, and like making itself like better. So you can do things like grow armor, blend into the background, get a big boost of like energy. It's kind of cool. There's a cyborg. It just literally says what it is on the tin. You get a bunch of stuff that's related to like technology stuff. So like technology enhancing your physicality. So like you might be able to run faster, or you might be able to like hack into a robot or something like that. But it's all like kind of technology related, like physical enhancement kind of stuff. Then we have a mystic. We have a mystic. This is sort of like a magic kind of force usery kind of thing. So you're going to be able to do things like control people in the battlefield, heal people, suck out their life. Like if you want to do like a space warlock or something, or like a Jedi or something, that might be pretty good. Robotics expert. This one is all robotics stuff. So like if you wanted to make like a tinkerer that like builds robots and like takes over robots that are in the battlefield and stuff, that's what this is for. It's different from the cyborg because the cyborg has a bunch of stuff that's like improving its physicality through robotics. This is like I want to take over that robot and make it shoot that guy, or I want to turn all the robots off, or stuff like that. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. Then we have the rogue. This one, it's kind of like a scoundrel, kind of more so it's a bunch of stuff of like moving around quickly or manipulating the battlefield. Like you can turn off other people's powers. Like you've got like a gun you can pull out, stuff like that. It's like the like Han Solo if he was slightly techie kind of one. And we get into the Psionicist. This is very similar to the Mystic, except instead of like Force Lightning, this is like the Force Push Jedi, if that makes sense. So it's a lot of stuff of like moving things around, like you can move things or lift things up or push them. Like if you were to use your mind to like move things, that's like what this guy kind of does. In my brain, this is like Obi-Wan Kenobi, and the Mystic is like the Emperor. Like that's how my brain makes that distinction. All right. Then we have the Techer. This is another like super technology heavy one. However, this one is not related to robots. It's about like moving around data and stuff like that. So it's a little more like interplay-y than the robotics expert is, who's like entirely focused on robots. This one's like, you know, I move the data from that guy to that guy, and then he can score the point kind of thing. So it's kind of like more like a hackery kind of thing. And then we get the veteran, which is just pretty much just straight up battle. Like this is like the team commander, like Space Marine captain kind of one. It's all stuff that improves your troops or improves yourself. Like it's very combat oriented. All right, so our captain, our leader, is going to get to pick 3 to 4 of the main powers. So that's these core powers here. Sorry, my setup is all fucked up. That's these core powers here. So you're going to get to pick 3 or 4 of these, and you're going to get to pick 1 to 2 up to 5 of the other powers that aren't from your tree. So, for example, if I wanted to pick a Techer, but I really wanted him to have, I don't know, energy shield, I could pick 4 powers from here and then pick 1 from energy shield, up to my total of 5. Alright? So that's pretty much the basics for what your captain's going to get powers-wise. Alright, now let's see what it says. Blah, 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 blah. Core powers. Ba, 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 ba. Okay, you get new powers. You get more skill than powers you have. This is the core stat line for your captain. Alright, so 6 move, 3 fight, 2 strength, a 9 armor, a will of 3+, and a health of 16. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pick our captain now, and then we'll pick out his powers. Alright, so that's his core stats. So let me show you the guy that I picked for my captain. Man, the rain is really coming down. Alright. So, this is my captain. So, you might recognize him from my Necromunda campaign, or the little Necromunda battles I was doing. But, this was the leader of the Arn something. The, like, scavenger group. I really like these minis, and I wanted to use them in something else. So I decided that I would come up with a team that's sort of like all scavengers. I'm going to theme all of my games around Necromunda, because I think that's kind of fun, and it's a world I know without like digging into this too much. So I'm just going to use Stargrave as like a system to play Necromunda. Yeah, it's downpouring. So, this guy here is going to be my captain. So, he's got like the one shotgun there. I imagine it goes in the holster on the back. He's just sort of like pulling out like kind of thing. It's cool. So he's going to be my captain. And then this guy here, who's not finished done painting yet, he's going to be my first mate. But we'll get to first mates in a minute. Alright, so what's my idea for my captain? So my captain, this whole group is going to be like scavengers in Necromunda. So it's their job to go out and go out into the wastes and like escort caravans or repair things that are broken or collect salvage. Right? They're like waste workers out in the barren, dead hellscape that is the space between all the Necromunda hive cities. So like they go out there and they are like, oh, we have to fix this power conduit or whatever, so they go and do that. Or they're like, oh, there's an infestation of mutants in coupling number 7, let's go kill them, you know? So they're like a mix of like muscle and technology kind of guys. That's my brain. My brain thinks for these guys. So they kind of do whatever needs to get done outside of the hive. It's one of the reasons why they have all the extra gear, like the extra pouches and stuff like that. Also, why they have the rebreathers and the face masks and the hoods and stuff, because they're going out into the shit. Out in the world that's super toxic and harmful and just the horrible atmosphere that is Necromunda. So this is my captain. My concept for him is he's a little bit more of a like a rogue type, right? Like he's the guy that's out there making the plays, not necessarily the guy that's out there like killing dudes. You know, he's the guy that's going to, like, go and hack the data and then run it back. Or he's the guy that's going to go break the lock off something so his troops can run it back. Conversely, his first mate is the big, heavy, bruiser, muscle kind of guy. So, that's my thoughts for them. So, if I'm going to pick a background for him, I'm probably actually going to go with the rogue background, because I think some of these powers are going to be interesting in between games, and since I'll be filming those portions as well, things like fortune and haggle and stuff like that, I think those are pretty cool. Cancel power is not one that is going to be useful for him, so it's going to be one that I'm just not going to take. Since I'm going to be playing against myself, or against the AI in the other book, it's one that's just not going to be useful, so I'll just make sure I don't take it. But I think he will make a nice kind of rogue. I also really like concealed firearm, because he does have the like shotgun holster on his back. I like the idea that is the shotgun, right? Like that's his like concealed firearm to pull out and be like, and sort of just like get his one surprise shot out of it. So I think that's what I'm going to go with him. So he's going to be a rogue. So now we get +1 will, +1 health, and choose 2 of the following: move, fight, or shoot. Okay, so let's go over here. All right. I want to use the pad. Here we go. All right, cool. All right. So we've got our sheet here, right? This is my captain. We don't have a name for him. I'll come up with a name. All right. So he needs a name still. And these are his stats. Okay. So he's going to be a rogue. So let's go look at the core stats. Right. That's right there. So let's see. Okay. So 6 move, 16 health. Okay, let's go check, see what we get to modify. We get +1 will and +1 health. Okay, so let's do that. So the will then is going to be +4. The health is going to be 17. His armor, we're not doing armor yet, so and his shoot is +2. I'm going to use one of my +1s to go into that to make that +3. So +3, and then his fight's going to be +3, and then I'm going to use +1 to give him an extra move because he's a quick, spry guy. All right. There we go. So that's his core stats all set with his background. Now we got to pick some powers. I know I want him to have concealed firearm because it matches the gun from his backpack. I think that's pretty cool. So it's concealed firearm. So we're gonna look that one up real quick. Nope, that's injuries. Where's powers? There we go. God, look at that. Perfect. Concealed firearm. Can only be used in combat. It is a strain of 1 and activation of 10. Alright, so let's make some notes. Okay. So, let's see. Okay, so we have concealed, activates on a 10. Strain of 1. Alright. Let's see. They're pushback +1. Okay, so we'll probably have to refer to this because it's got extra rules in here. So we'll keep it on the sheet and then we can look it up when we need to. Alright, so there we go. So that's concealed firearm. So let's go back to our guy. No, we don't need that. We need this guy. Let's see what other things we can get. Let's check out Fortune, Haggle, and Quickstep. Because I think those are neat. Like pre and post game things. Alright. Place a Fortune token either next to this figure or crew sheet at any point. Player may discard his token to reroll a combat roll. Okay, so it's basically like a luck token. Alright, so we'll take that one. That's cool. I think that's pretty thematic for a rogue. Fortune, that's an activation of 12. Okay. This, and then we have Haggle. This power may be used whenever a crew sells anything. So you get to use it once per game. Yeah, I think that will be fun as like a post game thing for the guys to do. So that's a 10. So we'll take that. All right. So we'll say those are his 3 there. Now he can pick up to 2 other ones. Do I like any other ones? Data jump might be fun. But data jump, bait and switch, and cancel power are very not like solo play friendly. They're much more like competitive play abilities because they're all about moving tokens from your enemies around. Well, let's go see what else we got. So, this is my guy. What other kind of stuff could he have? Wow, the white background really like kills the colors on him, doesn't it? That's interesting. Yeah, look, then the camera focuses better. And it focuses really well. That's super interesting. And the camera's balancing for the white balance. Yeah, that's really cool. Alright, sorry. I'm a little all over the place, to say the least. So I'm easily entertained by things at the moment. Okay, so what other stuff could this guy have? He's got a gas mask, so maybe there's something related to gas masks. He's got a knife, so maybe there's something related to that. He's kind of in like a quick draw stance. He also has like a third eye on his helmet there, so maybe there's something for like getting bonuses to shoot or something. So let's see what we got. He does also have a big bag, so it could grab heal here, and maybe it's like he's pulling something out of the bag and like injecting himself or something. That might be pretty cool. Life Leech, Mystic Trance. Power Spike might be a good one. That's just an increase in your shot. Regenerate is probably a good one. Like if he is pulling like a meta syringe or something out of his packet and just being like and like jamming in his neck, that might be a good one. I don't really want him to have anything with robots because while conceptually he's like a scrapper, I don't think it super fits him. Okay, then we're out of powers. Alright, so I think Regenerate might be pretty good. I like the idea that maybe he's pulling out a meta syringe. Maybe... yeah, because bribe is really for another thing. Break Lock might be pretty good and would probably be pretty fitting. Let's take Regenerate. I like the idea that he's using some kind of med stim. And then where was the quick step one? That one looked cool too. Let's go read that one. Quick step. Figure may make a power move when attempting to this activation. Vector may not make a power move. May move 4 move in any direction, including out of combat. May force combat during this move. The activator may not end within 1 inch of the enemy figure on the table. They suffer any movement penalties. Okay, so this is really for like getting between guys and stuff like that. That's pretty fitting for a roguey character. So we'll take that. We'll take Quick Step. And then we're going to take Regenerate because I like the idea of him having a meta stem. So we're going to take Quick Step. And that's on a 10 and a 1. For this sheet, I wish there was room here to write notes for each power. Just as I guess you could write it down here, but like... So what I'll probably end up doing is I'll probably end up printing out the cards and just having the cards for this guy so I can hold them up to the camera and so we don't have to look through the book every time. And then what was the other one called? Regenerate? Yeah, activator regains 3 points of health, activation 8. Okay. We'll call this one Regen. Alright, so he's got a hidden gun. He makes more money. He just has luck on his side. He can squeeze between guys if he has to, and he can jab himself with a med stim if he needs to. So that's pretty good. So let's figure out his gear next. Because now we get to pick his gear. That's the ship. I think he has 5 gear slots that we get to fill up. I should have looked that up. That's everything that can go wrong. Okay, power move, canceling powers. Okay. Collecting loot, tokens, creature actions, campaigns. Alright, where's the captain again? There he is. Okay. Alright, gear. Captains have 6 slots for carrying gear. A starting captain may choose their gear from the general equipment list. There is no cost for their gear beyond the number of slots they take up. You can change their gear anytime you want. Okay, and then we can make our first mate. And recruit our soldiers, and then we're all done. Okay, so let's pick some gear. We've got, what was it, 6? Yeah, 6 slots we get a pick. Okay, so a deck. This is for hacking, filter mask. That's something the guy already has, so he needs to have a filter mask. Okay, so I'm gonna write that down on the sheet. Filter mask. Just checking the top here just to make sure. Okay. So I think if it takes up more than 1 slot, it'll say it. Alright, there's a filter mask. Here's a med kit. Here's picks. These are for physical loot. Deck is for data loot. So one's like a lock pick, one's like a hacking deck. There he is. He can just punch if he wants. He has a knife, so let's take a knife. And then he also has a pistol. Oh, the first knife does not take up a gear slot. Okay, so that's handy. Okay. So, let's see. Does he have any grenades on him? Let's see. Not really. Have any grenades? He does have light armor, so let's give him light armor. Light armor. And that's going to mean that he's going to have +10 armor. because the standard is 9 and light armor gives us +1. Combat armor, shields. Okay. So actually, let's check the other book, Quarantine 37. See if there's other gear in here that we want to add. So there are other backgrounds in here. I forgot to go over these. There's the Hunter and the Aristocrat. The Aristocrat's pretty cool. She get more starting currencies. Hunter's neat. She get a bunch of stuff related to animals. So it's sort of the monster equivalent of like robot doctor. And there's other soldiers. We will be using some of these soldiers. So, okay. Isn't there an equipment list in here? I thought there was an equipment list. There's a new advanced technology list. Okay, there's no new equipment in this one. Okay. There's new advanced technology if you want to use it. Thank you. Okay. Alright. So I'm going to give my guy a pick and a deck, and then we're going to call him done. So he's going to have a pick and a deck, because this is 1, 2, 3. Pick. Deck. You know what? Since he has regen, let's give him a med pack. Yeah, let's give him a med pack too. Since he's got regen, I like the idea that he has like a med kit on his side. I think that's kind of cool. So it makes sense for him to have that. Okay, so there he goes. So that's all his gear. So he's got a filter mask, he's got a deck, he's got a pick. One's for physical loot tokens, one's for digital loot tokens. He has a knife, which doesn't count gear costs, and he's got a pistol. So he is more about doing stuff on the battlefield than fighting, which is what I want. Alright, so that is our captain all ready to rock. Now it's time to make our first mate. Let's go over to the first mate section. Alright, first mate. Creating a first mate. My first mate is going to be this guy. So he's not finished getting painted yet, and he needs his washes still. But my idea is that he's sort of a big... He's the bruiser, right? Like, he's the muscle. He's the guy keeping everybody in line. While my captain does the, like, running around, like, sinking the ball kind of plays. This is a guy that puts down the heavy fire. So, let's see. Alright, so your first mate in general just kind of sucks more than your captain does, which is fine. Okay, so there's our starting stats. Now we need to pick a background for him. So this guy I already determined is going to be a veteran. So he's going to get +1 fight, +1 health, and one of the following: +1 move, +1 fight, or +1 shoot. So I'm going to give him +1 shoot. So he's going to get +1 fight, +1 health, and +1 move. Oh no, +1 fight, shoot, and health. Yeah. Okay. So first mate. Let's see. So he's going to have 6 +3 fight, +3 shoot. His armor, we're still figuring that out. He's got +2 will. He's got +15 life. Okay. That's my first mate. Stats, basic, and on there. How many powers does he have? All first mates start at level 0. First mates have 5 gear slots. Okay. How do we pick what powers they have? Do they just have the same number of powers? Every crew is a first mate. Okay. They have 4 starting powers, 2 or 3 from their class, and then 1 from something else. Alright, so let's see what veteran gets. Coordinated fire, armory. Alright, I like armory. Let's go look these up. I think there's also cards on the very back. No? Oh, they're there. This might be a little bit better to see on camera. Alright. The crew can add field 1 suit of combat armor without having to pay to take additional upkeep cost. One weapon can be given +1 damage. Alright, so he's going to have armory. So I think that's fitting because he's a big, heavy armor, like, gun guy. Alright, so he's going to have armory. And that's like a pre- and post-game thing. So that's activation 10. 0 strain. Alright, let's see what else can he have. Energy shield, coordinated fire. Let's look up coordinated fire. That one I don't know. The target member of the crew receives +1 shoot for the duration of the game. Yeah, sure, let's take that one too. So he's got a lot of stuff pre- and post-game. Cord fire, 10, 0. Okay. Let's see what target designation is. Oh, yeah, fuck, we're going to take that too. So he's just going to be Captain Buffing. That's an 8. Okay. So he's just going to be like Captain Buff. Oh, I've been waiting to try this game. Do you know if the game would work in Tabletop Simulator? Probably. I mean, technically you could play anything in Tabletop Simulator. This game runs entirely... Do I have it in my pocket still? Listen to that thunder! Sorry. Since my laptop fell out of the fucking wall, everything is everywhere. Okay, this game runs entirely off a D20, so you could... It's basically one dice roll for everything. So it could definitely work on Tabletop Simulator, probably really easy. I don't know if they have any assets for it, but I don't really play Tabletop Simulator, so... Okay. So let's see. We've got... So he gets 4 powers, so he gets 1 more. They can't be any of his core powers. So let's see what other stuff we want. To be honest, I might just give him Break Lock. Oh, let's do Adrenaline Surge. That one gives him an extra action. And it gives him an extra action next time. So let's do that one. So that's Activation 12, Strain 2. So that way, if he really wants to, like, like really, really, really lay down fire, he can do that. It'll basically let him go full turret mode. Okay. So, how many gear slots did he have? Did it say 4 or 5? First mate, have 5 gear slots. Alright, let's look at some gear. So he's going to have a filter mask as well. Oh wait, hold on. That's not... I think I actually want him to have combat armor. Because he's got this big, like, electro rig thing on. It's not really combat armor. But it's got to, like, make him stronger. So let's go read combat armor. Combat armor is the ultimate personal protection in the battlefield. Full body protection in its own air supply. It has powered limbs and support to offset immense weight. When combat armor receives +4 armor. Wearing combat armor also counts as carrying a hand weapon, a pistol, and a filter mask are integrated into the armor. It's interesting. Armor participates. Captain must pay 50 credits for each suit of combat armor in their crew in order to maintain the power in the suit. If the suit belongs to a captain or first mate, the crew can exchange. The suit can be exchanged for something else if the fee isn't paid off. If the suit belongs to a soldier and the fee isn't paid, the soldier may not participate in the game. Interesting. Well, he has the thing that could potentially mean that he doesn't have to pay that fee. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to take combat armor for him. I think he's more, like, if you look at the model, he's more of a, like, support rig than combat armor. But I want him to have something to differentiate him from just being a normal guy. So we'll go ahead and we'll say it's combat armor, since there's no, like, strength rig in here that isn't one of these. So we'll say he has combat armor. That automatically gives him filter mask. And it takes up 2 gear slots. Okay, so we'll give him combat armor. He's got combat armor. And then he's got a big fuck-off gun. Which is a rapid fire. Oh, wait. Okay, so hold on. Let's go back and reread heavy armor. The consequence of any type of heavier armor generally include a hardened breastplate, helmet, and gloves. Good protection is bulky and heavy. Where heavy armor receives +2 armor, +1 move. No, we'll keep him with combat armor. It's fine. He's got the thing where it could be free. And let's see. He's got 9 armor, so that brings him to 13. Plus, he's going to be out there in the fight all the time, so it should be good. Okay, so back to the rapid fire. These heavy weapons are capable of extreme rates of fire. Making a shooting attack. A figure armed with a rapid fire weapon may either make 2 shooting attacks or make 2 shooting attacks at 2 separate targets, or 1 shooting attack with a +2 damage modifier. So man, he just gets to light everybody up. Available, it may use both of them and make 2 shooting attacks at 2 different targets that are within 2 inches of each other. Hold on, wait, let me read that again. If this figure has 2 actions available, it may use both of them and make 2 shooting attacks at 2 targets that are within 2 inches of one another, both with a +2 modifier. Range of 24. Okay. Shit, does my guy have 5 or 4 gear slots? 5. Okay, perfect. Alright. So he's got combat armor and a rapid fire, and that is it for him. So he is going to be doing none of the mission. He's just going to be bringing all of the DACA. So I don't have any upgrades for the ship or anything. I need to come up with a name for them. But there they are. There's my there's my crew sheet for when we get to play next week, when my setup hasn't fallen out of the fucking wall. So yeah, alright, sweet. So let's pick some shitheads. So we get 400 credits to spend on 8 guys. Alright? So I'm going to grab some models and we're going to talk about them, and then we're going to pick from the guys. Where are the guys? There they are. Alright, so this is the different kind of guys you can have. You can also have a couple different types of guys from this book. So let's look at the ones in this book first, because there's only a couple of them. And then we will... Alright, so you can have a gunfighter. This is basically a dude with 2 pistols. We are definitely taking one of these because I have a model modeled like a gunfighter. So we're going to be taking a gunfighter for sure. Alright. So, hello! It's going. Everything's a bit of a mess. My streaming setup fell out of the wall, and I'm an anxious mess. But I'm here, late, but we get to still make our crew, so everything's okay. All right, so these guys, they don't get any powers or anything like that, and they only have the gear that's specified for them. So you don't have to go through and pick all the crazy stuff like we've had to with all of our other guys. You just get what's here. So this guy costs 100 credits. I'm going to write that next to him. So he is a gunfighter. The top blew up a few weeks ago. Nice. Well, that's good that you got something new. Yeah, my streaming setup fell out of the wall, which is why the stream is so scuffed today. But I have a new one coming. It gets here on Thursday, so I'll get to set that up. And that'll be good. And it also means I can get my desk cleaned up for the 3D printer I'm getting. Light armor, knife, and then he has 2 gunfighter. This basically means he can shoot with both pistols. Alright, so he's 100 credits. Okay. Need to start streaming again, because I had fun, but I never really had the time to stream. Yeah, that's why I picked a day I know usually not a lot going on Sunday. Okay, so you can also have a mule. So this guy is basically just like a like a equipment carrier. That's essentially what he is. He's like a walking like gun rack. I have a cool model to use as a mule, but I'm not going to add him to the team yet, I don't think. But he's a lot of fun. He's just essentially got a bunch of guns on his back that he can like hand out and stuff. It's pretty cool. But we're not going to add him to the team yet because we're only going to do 4 people. This is a Q-bot. This is basically a mule with one integrated weapon. So it gets like one like flamethrower or grenade launcher or something shot, which is pretty cool. It would work really good for like some kind of servitor or something. Would be a really good Q-bot. And then we get into the Ravaged and Ravaged Troopers. These are basically like pseudo zombies. And then we get in the Trophy Taker. This is like an assassin kind of character. So I'm not going to take any more of those because I just don't think they fit my team yet. I may eventually take a Q-bot or a mule, but not for right now. Not for my first 4 guys. Because when you're building a list for this game, if you want to play by yourself, and you want to play the first scenario, you don't need a full team. You need half of a team. So we're going to pick half of a team today. So you need basically your captain and 4 guys, and that's it. I did the first mate also just to do him. So, alright, so let's take a look real quick at some of the models I have. Alright, because these guys are all just, I want to play with my Necromunda models, so. I've got this guy here, who's sort of got this big hammer, and he's got a set of power armor and stuff. I'll definitely be taking him in my team, but I'm not going to take him in the first 4, I don't think. One, because since this guy has power armor, I don't think I can afford to have 2 sets of power armor in a game right now. I've got 2 dogs. I've got this dog here. And I've got this dog here. I will definitely be taking both of those dogs at some point. I've got this guy with a shotgun. It's pretty cool. I've got this guy with a machine gun. Who's also pretty cool. I've got this guy with like an explosive pack and a pistol. And I've got this guy with 2 swords. Could in theory also have a pistol, I don't know. I've got this guy with a big harpoon. I have no idea what I'm going to use the big harpoon for. And then over here, I've got some ones that aren't finished painted yet. I've got this guy with a melt-a-gun. I think once I get some advanced technology and get like a +1 shotgun or something, I'll use that guy. Same thing for this guy. I think once I get a +1 flamethrower, I'll use the guy with the big heavy flamethrower. And then I've got this guy here who has a jetpack and a hand weapon. So he might be usable as well. I've got another guy with jetpack, a knife, and a pistol. I've got a guy with just a flamethrower. I think I'll definitely use him. And a guy with a grenade launcher. So that's what I've got for my options, right? Since I'm just sort of converting over my Necromunda models to play on this game. That's what I've got for options. So let's look at what our choices are. So next to each one of these, you can see the cost in credits. And then these are all their special rules and their equipment that they have. So I think... Oh shit, hold on. Oh god, my streaming setup's all fucked. I think hackers and runners and stuff, I think I'm going to use the guys with the backpacks for those, because I think it's a nice differentiation of them. So I want to take so far I have my captain. I've got my captain. Got him. I've got this guy who's a dual gunfighter. I want to take one of the dogs in my first 4. So they're going to be a guard dog. Thankfully, they're very, very cheap. But I think they are also just... Fuck. I think they're also just cool. Because they're dogs. So let's see. Guard dog. Dog. He has 8 move. He has +1 fight. He has +0 shoot because he's a fucking dog. He's got 8 armor. He has -2 will. He has 10 life. And he costs 10 credits. Okay. Let's see what gear. He is an animal. No gear or loot. Okay, no gear or loot, and he's an animal. All right. Now this is specialists. We could only have 3 of these in our team at a time. So I'm going to add one specialist to... I'm going to add one specialist to my first 4 people. And then I'm going to take pretty much just like one generic like rifleman. So let's see. Which specialist do we want? We have a grenade launcher guy. We have a flamethrower guy. We could take a Pathfinder since he has grenades. Commando. I kind of want to take a guy with a flamethrower. So let's take a burner. Yeah, I'm going to take the flamethrower guy. I'll make sure I get him painted up. So he's got 5 plus 3. Plus 3. 11 armor. Health is... Let's see, will is what? Plus 1? Health is 14. Okay. Alright, and then he has a... He has heavy armor. That's unfortunate. So he's got a flamethrower. Just writing it down. He's got a pistol. He's got heavy armor. And he's got a knife. Alright, minus the heavy armor, that fits that model pretty well. Okay, so that's 2 of my specialists right there. And then this one, I'm just going to take a standard guy. I'm just going to take, you know, I might actually just take a runner, to be honest. Yeah, I'm going to take a cheap guy for the next guy. I'm just going to take a runner, so he's going to be free. So that way the other part of my team, because this is 100 credits, that's 100 credits. I get 400 credits to start my team, so that's half my team right there. So I want there to be cool shit on the other half of the team too. So we're just going to take a freebie. We're going to take a runner. And I'm going to use one of the models with the jetpack. So runner is 7. Plus 2. Plus 1. 9. Plus 1. 12. And he is free. And he has a pistol and a knife. Okay, so that is all the stats for my starting team for next week. Alright, I've got 4 guys. I've got my captain, and I've got my first mate. My first mate will not be in the first game, because it's just going to be my captain and these first 4 troops. So let's look at the models for them, and we'll see who we got. So, we have our captain. Bum, 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 bum. There he is. He's a rogue with a bunch of like swindly things. We have our gunfighter, who's sort of dual guns McBlazin there. We've got a dog. Which dog do we want to use? Let's use the Doberman. We've got a dog in our first team. We have a runner. We'll use this guy here. And then last but not least, we have the flamethrower guy who's not finished being painted yet. There he is. What are their names? I haven't come up with names yet. I don't know what naming scheme I want to use. So yeah, I haven't come up with names yet, but they will definitely get names by the time I play on camera next week. And then we also did this guy. So Yeah, so that's my starting team for next week. There's the captain. We'll put him up top. The dog can be up top too because dogs are cool. So that's my starting crew for next week. My streaming setup's all fucked, so it's really hard. Chet Meatfist. If I was playing... Oh, where are they? Oh, did I put them up? Hold up. Oh. From my Necromunda games on the channel, this was my main. This was my main guy. This was Meathammer. Yeah, that was Meathammer, the leader of my team. When I was playing Necromunda on the channel. So, yeah, Arthur Conflagration. I mean, it would fit. He has a flamethrower, right? Everybody's named after the equipment they have. But yeah, that was Meatfist. Not Meatfist, Meathammer. With his flamethrower pistol. Whoa. So yeah, so there's my starting team for next time. They're going to be fighting some zombies in a coordination with the starting thing from Quarantine 37 here. I got to whip up some zombie troopers. I don't have any of those, but I'll get those whipped up. And yeah, so for the starting scenario, if you wanted to play it yourself, what you would need is you would need 4 guys and a captain, right, like we did today. And then you would need the first... No, it's not the right one. Okay. So this is the starting scenario, the starting single-player scenario for Quarantine 37. It basically faces your guys against a bunch of zombies as they try to collect loot and then get to an elevator. If you wanted all of these rules and stuff for free, the rules for Perilous Dark for Frostgrave are up available right now for free on Osprey's website, so you can go and get those, and it has basically all the same tables and rules in it. They're essentially the same. But the idea is to have a bunch of zombie minis and then have your guys. Now you need 2 types of zombie minis, preferably one with a weapon of some kind for shooting, and then one that's just like a mindless fuck off zombie. As we get into these scenarios, I will probably be whipping up a couple of house rules, because I would like to use, like, you know, enemies that have like flamethrowers and Terminator armor and stuff like that. And in these rules, just to be simple, there isn't enough granularity for my model collection. So, like, if there's a Space Marine with a great flail, I would like him to have different rules from the guy that just has a knife. And you can do that when you're creating your team, right? There's enough rules in here for that. But there's not enough rules in here to do that for the enemies. And I think the enemies being unique is a lot of fun as well. So we're going to work on that. We'll definitely be doing some house rules for those. And I'll put those up on my website as I come up with them. So, but yeah. So just for the first game, you need 4 guys, a captain, and then a bunch of zombie minis. Preferably half of them with like rifles. And yeah, that's it. That's all you need to play the first scenario of Quarantine 37. I have been working on some objective markers for different kinds of loot, because there is physical and data loot in this game. So I'm just making them sort of out of my Necromunda stuff, right? So like this one could be either physical or data. That one's like a little storefront kind of thing. That could be like physical loot. This one could be either. It could be physical or data. But some kind of like visual marker for the loots to go along with all of the Necromunda stuff. I've also been working on some other terrain for that because I really just want to pimp the table out. So there's a shop I've been working on, and then I've showed all these off already, but I've got the whole set of these as well. So it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So yeah. So I think should be pretty good, assuming I can get everything set back up on Thursday. Get my craft room rebuilt from the crash where my laptop fell. Get everything making sense again. We should be good. Should be good for the new year for all stream and fun times. But yeah, it should be fun. Yeah, I am kind of all over the place right now. I apologize. But we're all set up for Frostgrave for next week. I've got a bunch of stuff. If it ever stops raining, I'll be able to spray it and we'll get painted. And it should be a good time. Let's end on the team we put together. I've got to get one of these guys painted before next week. I will have him done tonight. Maybe we'll throw this guy in too. I don't know yet. We shouldn't. We're not supposed to. The rules say we're not supposed to. So we won't. But yeah, there they go. That's what I've got to get painted for next week. I've got one guy here. He's got to get painted. And then we are good for next week. But I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to call it there. Thank you for watching. Hopefully this was fun. I'm sorry we're not actually playing today. But situations be what they are. So I will catch you guys next week when we actually play. Guaranteed, 100%. Assuming more laptops don't fall out of the walls. But this is the only one that was in the wall. So I'm assuming no others can. But barring any more insanity, we should be good. And I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to call it there and go find something to eat because I haven't eaten anything since I managed to heft myself out of bed. So, yeah, that's it for me. And I will catch you next time. And